Aunt Mama by Rico Lamoureux, pages 3 to the end. Still in a world of her own, Margaret didn't realize Joseph was in the room until his hand came down atop her bare shoulder. Before she could collect herself from the shock of his presence, Joseph shot forward with a backhand to her face. The backhanded blow knocked Margaret's nude body off her adulterous partner and onto the floor. Not even giving the stranger a second to react, Joseph brought the straight razor up and came down with a diagonal slash, slicing off the very thing that was used to rob him of the life he had always dreamt of. The stranger's severed body part gave off the sound of a wet plop as it landed on the floor in front of Margaret. The two fornicators screamed out, one in horrific shock, the other in excruciating pain. Joseph walked around to the other side of the bed, picked Margaret up by the hair, and proceeded to drag her out of the room. Like a squealing pig who somehow knew it was headed for the slaughterhouse, Margaret kicked and screamed as Joseph led her down the hall toward the bathroom. Passing Elise's bedroom, the door flung open. The younger sister couldn't make sense of this situation. This was a side of Joseph she had never seen before. She pleaded with him to let Margaret go, but the kind gentleman he once seemed to be was no more. The attempted defense of her sister was of no use, the fragile 16-year-old tripping over her nightgown as Margaret was violently dragged into the bathroom by her hair. "You fucking whore!" cried Joseph as he forced her to look at herself in the bathroom mirror. "We made a promise we'd wait until our wedding night. If you couldn't wait, you should have just told me. We could have sealed the bond any time. God damn it, our chastity was for each other. You swore you were different." Slamming her head into the bathroom mirror, the impact caused her forehead to gash open. He let her fall to the floor, then turned to leave. Elise rushed in to her sister's side. Aunt Mama remained rocking in her chair, as if she knew nothing of the commotion that had just occurred upstairs. Blood-stained, with straight razor still in hand, Joseph walked out into the front porch. "I know you're hurting, Joseph. That whore don't cherish the pureness of chastity like you do. But it ain't over. There's still a way, Joseph." He looked over at her. "The young'un," she continued, "your sister. She's still pure, innocent. They're waiting for you to have her forever. What are you willing to do there, Joseph? What are you willing to do to ensure a pure princess of pureness forever?" Joseph walked over to her. "Anything." "There are an infinite number of rams surrounding us, Joseph. Just 'cause we can't see 'em don't mean they ain't there. If you take her into one of the rams, you'll have her all to yourself. Forever." A glimmer of hope passed over Joseph, followed by a level of determination few men ever reach. "What do I do?" Aunt Mama reached out and cut her own finger on Joseph's straight razor. She then took her blood-dripping finger and repeatedly drew the infinity sign with it on the arm of her rocking chair. "There are two mirrors in your bathroom. On one of them, draw Theus with the innocent's blood. On the other, cover it with the guilty's blood." Joseph was on his way back upstairs. Both on the bathroom floor, Elise held a towel to her sister's bleeding forehead. Without saying a word, Joseph came in and once again picked up Margaret by the hair. The two young women screamed. Elise grabbed for her sister, but Margaret's fate was sealed. With one fluid movement, Joseph tilted her head up toward the ceiling and sliced open her throat, blood spewing out onto the bathroom mirror. Still rocking in her chair downstairs, the old black blind woman continued to repeatedly trace the infinity sign with her blood-dripping finger. The cataracts in her eyes began to move about like shifting clouds. The bathroom mirror now covered in Margaret's blood, Joseph let her limp body fall over onto the bathroom countertop. He grabbed the hysterical Elise by the hand and pulled her to the mirrored medicine cabinet. With Elise's hand in one of his and the straight razor in the other, Joseph raised her hand to the mirror and sliced open her palm. He put her bleeding flesh flat against the mirrored cabinet and drew the infinity sign with it over and over again. Downstairs, Aunt Mama's rocking became faster, as well as the blood-soaked tracing of the infinity sign on the arm of her chair. Her cataracts were hardly visible. The two blood-covered mirrors upstairs turned into two gateways to another realm. Joseph jumped up on the bathroom counter and began to pull Elise up with him. Beyond hysteria, all she could do was fight to try to get away. Joseph's body was now halfway in the realm. Elise made one last attempt to get away by grabbing for the medicine cabinet, causing its mirrored door to open and face the bathroom mirror. His blood-covered hands losing their grip on Elise's silk nightgown, Joseph fell back and was sucked into the realm alone. Desperately holding on to the two sides of the mirrored medicine cabinet's door, Elise was sucked into that mirrored realm. Both mirrors began to absorb the blood which covered them, in the process replenishing any and all damage done, leaving them like new again. The bathroom mirror and cabinet mirror were still face-to-face, mirror to mirror. As the last of the blood was absorbed by the bathroom mirror, the reflection of the cabinet mirror became clear. The two reflections created an image of a mirrored staircase. Standing on one of the steps of the mirrored staircase, Joseph, whose eyes were now iridescent. He looked straight ahead to the opposite mirrored staircase. There at his side, also with iridescent eyes, stood Elise. He looked to his side. She was not there. Realizing she was in one mirrored realm and he in another, with no hope of ever truly being together, Joseph began to break down. Then, as if things couldn't get any worse, lost souls of the past began to appear in the mirrored walls around him. The old stories had been true, for those surrounding him were the forgotten Mathesons, in his case, ancestors. "No!" he screamed, shattering one mirrored wall after another, but it was of no use. Each mirrored wall he destroyed, the previous one would become like new again. The blood-dripping finger of Aunt Mama slowly came to a stop. Her eyes were clear, cataract-free, iridescent. She smiled.